Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, we want to thank all of our fans, our sponsors, our patrons. We appreciate all of your guys' support. Everyone that's bought us a cup of coffee, been greatly appreciated. We've had a rough couple of weeks here in the family, been out of work for a week and a half, coming up on 2 weeks, thanks to our old friend COVID running through us. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time with the usual spiel, so all of you guys that are interested in what's going on with Sin City Living and what we plan on doing in the future with our live streams and upcoming events, please stick around to the end of the video or skip to the end of the video and watch. I will put most of that stuff in the ending spiel, and I will try and update it every week or two with more news. Otherwise, that being said, we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into today's video. So for today's video, we want to do a comparison of two of the better strategies. The regression strategy versus the mid-press strategy, and show where they kind of shine and they don't shine, because they sort of have two different goals, really. The regression strategy is really based on kind of catching the shorter rolls, you know, the 3 to 5 rolls, even some strategies, even the 2 to 3 roll strategies, where the 7 out comes relatively quick within the first 2 or 3 minutes, but not super fast, not a 0.7 out. They still need to catch a few numbers, but regression strategies are usually looking at trying to catch multiple or just one number and make a profit off of it, and then maybe 2 numbers and you're at your actual profit point. Whereas the mid-press strategy is more based on just trying to catch that longer roll. Now the regression strategies, the beauty behind the regression strategies is they are still taking advantage of the longer rolls. Typically regression strategies will build up, will start out, regress down, and then once it starts building back up again, they switch to a mid-press kind of strategy. The idea is that they pull down to get back their original investment into the shooter, and then after that, they tend to go to a mid-press strategy. Some will do a power press strategy, but in this particular case, since we're comparing against a mid-press strategy, we're going to do it as a mid-press as well, and we're going to look at it as at the statistical likelihood rolls. 15 rolls without a 7, 30, and we may go longer than that, depending. Obviously, the regression strategy will be far superior in shorter rolls that we're not going to be showing, 3 or 4 rolls. So, got no puck because we're just looking at the place bets, and we are going to assume a $10 table, just because it lets us regress a little further. Normally, lately, I've been doing $15 tables. We're going to do a $10 table. So, we're going to have our normal across, 64 across, including for the mid-presser, and we're going to do 160 across, including for the regression strategy player. Now what we're going to do, instead of regressing the entire bet, the method that we're going to use is that when a number hits, we're going to regress down just that number down to table minimum. And then after that, we're going to go to a mid-press strategy. So here we go. Thank you everybody for the coffees, by the way. Very helpful, very enjoyable, as we are now transitioning back into actually buying coffee. So thank you everybody for the help. It was very appreciated. And please, guys, email me with some questions or with some strategies or with some ideas or things you would like to see this video. And let's see. So we'll start with 15 rolls without a 7. So statistically, the 4 and the 10 are going to come 1.5 times each during that time frame. So we're going to do 1 on the 4 and 2 on the 10. Just to make it a little bit easier, okay? So, the mid-press player, in this case, is likely to just press it 1 unit and collect the other $13. The regression strategy player is going to come down to $10. Now, on the 10, it's going to hit twice. So this time they'll throw in the $2 to get paid 20, press it up to 15, collect the rest. Now the second time it hits, that's probably going to be a $3 bake, so we'll just do it this way. This time around, a mid-presser is likely going to go to a quarter. do it this way so I don't have to color up that green. And the regression strategy player can throw in their dollar so they can get 50. And then they come down to table minimum. Now you notice after one hit on two different numbers, now two of the highest paying numbers, the regression strategy player has almost gotten back their initial buy-in. So the next time it hits, again, they tend to go to a mid-press strategy, so we'll just go with 1. So 1 hit on the 4, 2 hits on the 10. Now let's look at the 5 and 9. 5 and 9 are statistically going to come 2 times each on a 15 roll hand. Now remember, the idea behind most pressing strategies is for a number to break the statistics, to roll more times than it should. You're really looking for any individual number to roll 7 to 9 times in a 10-minute time span. And we do see that every single night. But that's the true reason why people press. All right, so the mid-press player throws in a buck for 15, presses it just 1, and collects the first time. Now, the second time, they're going to collect $11, and they're going to mid-press themselves up to a quarter. Whereas the regression player comes down to 10, and then the second time around, we'll press it up, 1 unit, collect the rest. Now, on the 9, these guys are going to do the exact same things. Press it up a unit, and then collect the $11 to go to a green. Whereas this player is going to collect, and then the next time around, collect. So that's 2 hits each on the 5 and the 9. Now let's look at the 6 and the 8. So the 6 and the 8 are statistically likely to come 2.5 times each. So we'll do 2 times and 3 times, just to make it easy. So the mid-press player the first time is likely going to just press it 1 unit. Now the second time, second hit, they are going to go to 30. And as a mid-press player, this one's only going to get 2 hits. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Now the regression strategy player is going to want to come down to the table minimum of $12. And then the second time it hits, go to pressing 1 unit. Okay, so now let's look at the 8. The 8 will hit 3 times in this scenario. First time, press it 1 unit. Second time, go to 30, and the third time they throw $2 in, and they go to 42. The regression strategy player throws the $2 in, they go to table minimum. Next time around, press it 1 unit, and the third hit, they go to 30. Now in this scenario, the regression strategy player has banked $390, put back $390 into their rack, while the pressing 1 unit player has obviously put a smaller amount into their rack. They're both still up, but one is obviously up more. They've gotten their initial $160 investment back, so if we take out that $160, they have banked a $230 profit. Whereas the other player with $64 in action has made $76 in profit. So significantly less profit for the mid-presser at the moment. So let's take a look going up to 30 rolls. So going up to 30 rolls, now at this point, statistically, both the 4 and the 10 should have rolled 3 times each. So we're going to do 2 more hits here and 1 more hit over here. So the next hit right here, they can go ahead and throw the $3 in to get paid 30. and they are going to go to a quarter. That's the first hit. Now the second hit, a mid-press player, which is actually the third hit at this point, is likely going to go to 50. So now let's look at the regression player who is now in a mid-press scenario. So they're going to throw in the $2 to get paid 20. They're going to press it up 1 unit to start with. And then the next time around, they're going to throw in the $3 to get paid 30, and they go up to a quarter. Oh, let's do the 10 real fast. So they're going to throw in the $1, press it up to 50, collect that green, and then this player is going to throw in the $3 to go to 30. Let's go ahead and stack all this stuff back up. All right, so now let's look at the 5 and the 9. So on the 5 and the 9, statistically, we're looking at 4 hits each in this scenario. So they're going to get 2 more hits apiece. So the mid-press player, the one that just started out with the mid-press play, will immediately go up to 35. And then the next time around, they take themselves to 50. It actually is a faster way for me to do that, but I want to break down and give some more ones just in case we need them. So the regression player goes up to a quarter because they are now in a mid-press scenario. Then the next time around goes to 35. Same thing is going to happen over here. They're going to go to 35 initially, then they're going to throw in the $1, go to 50, collect all this, and this player will go to quarter the first time, and then 35 the next time. Now, the 6 and the 8. The 6 and 8 statistically are going to come 5 times apiece. Since we only did 2 times here, 3 times here, we're going to do 3 more hits here and 2 more hits here just to make everything add up. So the first hit, we said 3 more hits here, so they still have 2 more hits there. They go up to 42. Then they go up to 60. And then after that, there's a couple different directions to go, 72 or 90. Typically, more often than not, I see people that go up to 90. That is a little bit more common, so we'll stick with that. So 3 more hits for this player. First thing, they go up to 30. Secondly, they throw in the $2. And then thirdly, they go to 60. Let's swap some of this stuff out. All right, so now we're looking at 2 more hits on the 8. So immediately go up to 60. Then the next time around, go up to 90. This player will collect their green, and then and there we go. That is 30 rolls without a 7. And the statistical likelihoods of the numbers rolling within that time frame. And we have our results at the moment. So the player that starts out with a mid-press has now banked, put in the rack, $488. Take out their $64 initial action, initial buy-in, and they've banked $424 in profit. The player that regressed has $626 in front of them. That means $466 in profit after their initial $160 buy-in, their initial $160 investment. So you notice the gap is closing at this point, but the regression player still currently has made more money. As we go into 45 rolls and 60 rolls is where the mid-press, or the one that started out with the mid-press, is going to really start shining, because they're going to be a beat ahead. They're going to be an entire roll ahead in the rolls where you are now collecting blacks and then eventually whites and then eventually yellows. They'll be collecting the 500s and the thousands a step ahead. So the point where the person that regressed is collecting the 500s, the mid-presser is now collecting the $1,000 checks. So that's where they start to catch up. So really, the mid-press outshines the regression strategy when you catch, after you start catching maybe a 25-minute roll. Once you're about 20 to 25 minutes into the roll, that's where the mid-press, if the roll starts to continue, if the roll continues, that's where the mid-press really starts to shine, or starts to outshine the regression strategy. The only downside to the regression strategy is it requires almost 3 times the initial buy-in to the shooter that the mid-press strategy requires. So 0.7 outs or 0.1 hit, 7 outs are going to hurt the regression strategist far, far, far more than the mid-press player. But the 5 to 10 minute rolls, the regression strategist is going to end up banking more money, or even the 10 to 15 minute rolls, and really the 15 to 20 minute rolls, they're probably going to bank more money. Again, this is with the statistical likelihood. So if any numbers defeat those statistics and hit an extra 3 or 4 times at the expense of another number, then that's where the mid-press will shine. Because again, the mid-press really starts to shine once numbers start hitting 6 or 7 times, depending on the number. You know, when you're right around here, then you probably need 6 to 8 hits for it to really start to shine. 5 and 9, probably 5 to 7 hits for it to really start to shine. And then the 4 and 10, really just 4 to 6 hits, and it's really starting to shine. So I hope you guys find this interesting, illuminating, enlightening, or at the very least, just plain fun. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will catch you next time. Bye now. Okay, everybody, and as promised, all the usual blah blah that I try and do at the beginning of the video, we're going to go ahead and put near the end of the video. And here we go. So thank you, everybody, for your usual patronage. All of you that are patrons of ours, we very, very much appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who's been buying us a cup of coffee. Love to say that it's going to coffee right now, but this month with the entire family out for COVID, it's honestly going to Bill's and probably the kid's birthday in a week. But we definitely appreciate it. We're going to continue working on these live streams. I know you guys have seen some of them popping up. Just got to figure out the look of it, and some of the audio is still giving me issues. But hopefully we'll be getting those live streams and the craps tournaments going as soon as possible. Really just going to depend on scheduling. My schedule changed, Amy's schedule changed, kids' school schedule is fun. So once we figure out exactly how all those schedules are going to work, we'll let everybody know. And otherwise, please continue emailing us with anything you would like to see videoed. And again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.